there's a question here that I'm very surprised I never actually asked you, at least not directly, and we certainly have never discussed this on the podcast somehow.
Yes, I am single.
Son of a bitch, huh?
Welcome back. Okay, what you got in mind, bro?
Kevin.
Quentin.
You are the king of negativity around these here parts.
What the fuck, man?
Hey.
I am positively astounded that you would say that.
You take your crown and you wear it proudly. All right.
That means I'd have to be positive. This does make me a little sad actually hearing this. But what are we getting to? What's up?
Yeah. In the world of either referring to comic books like characters straight from the comics or live action adaptation, what are some of the characters you think are the most annoying, like the ones that you just cannot deal with?
In regards to live adaptations of the books
or comics.
Oh, okay. Just like, oh shit. So a free range question of the characters I just can't stand.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
Oh. Really? Okay. Well, this is the subject tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. All right, how much time you got?
2 hours later, and holy shit, man.
I have a lot of hatred. A lot of hatred in my heart. This isn't true. This isn't true. Although, wow, fuck, where to start? So there's, believe it or not, there's not a lot of characters that I just straight up say no incompletion to. You know, in other words, there are characters that I don't like this or that aspect, or even most of said aspects about. There's rarely characters that I will say 100% there's nothing about this that I value, enjoy, or wish to see in continuation in any regard in any fictionalized or non-fictionalized storytelling. You know, rarely does that happen. And yes, I am still talking, of course, about our Marvel, DC, comic book brethren, you know.
Right.
You won't be surprised to hear some of the characters that do come to mind, however, because they are characters I believe you and I would agree upon. Ones that we both feel bring no value. If, you know, one could argue zero value, they're probably actually negative characters that devalue said products.
Now, I would ask you, even if I do agree with you, I would ask you to give like a brief synopsis as to why.
Sure. This is fair. First couple that come to mind, Ghost from Ant-Man 2. There's no value in this character. Waste of time. Don't even remember the name besides the villain name. Don't remember the actress. I remembered it was a chick. That was cool. You know, that was apparently a big old valuable reveal because that mattered. But, you know, aside from that, no one's excited to see that bitch again. Taskmaster. Live adaptation, not comic book. Comic book adaptation? Amazing. Great. I'd love to see that character. I've never seen him on screen before, you know, because what we got on screen was Ghost 2.0.
Yeah. So I'll jump in right here for a second.
Okay.
And I'll just say that, you know, for, oh boy. So like for Ghost, it's not like I give Ghost a pass, but for me, Ghost was less egregious than Taskmaster.
Okay.
And I guess my reasons being is that, like, even if you are like a super hardcore Iron Man fan, you're going to be like Ghost, that obscure character back in those old Iron Man comics that used to, you know, sneak in and steal shit and whatnot. Okay, they gender bent the character, and now she has no lines, and she is, you know, a misunderstood villain, go figure, in the MCU.
A pseudo-villain.
Yeah, and it's like, well, so here's the thing, like, the character's worst trait is that in the MCU, she's completely forgettable. There's nothing spectacular about her.
Sure.
Whereas the thing with Taskmaster, she actually has like a very big fan base. And
yeah, he does. Yeah.
And I don't know, because Marvel, they typically only try shit like this
with the no-name characters.
Exactly, with characters who they don't think their fans know.
Right.
I was very surprised to see them try some slick shit with Taskmaster. But like you said, Taskmaster's biggest problems that in the MCU, she's very much just Ghost. Misunderstood villain with no lines.
Yeah. I mean, same gimmick, too. Motorcycle outfit with helmet.
Yep.
That's about it.
Very skilled.
Lacking to some other more named villain.
Right.
Which is stupid. Yeah.
Agreed. Continue.
I mean, those are two of the biggest ones right there. Trying to think back on some others. In DC, I'm trying to think back. Help me think of some DC films. Even Suicide Squad, the first one, the one that wasn't good, the one that we try to erase from human history. There weren't characters that I completely demised in that one. Like I not to the same pedigree as Ghost and Taskmaster.
Yeah. The roster wasn't the problem with Suicide Squad 1.
No. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of characters besides those in DC, because I'm not trying to pull them all from Marvel. Marvel does have a plethora of characters to choose from.
They got a plethora of shit,
Exactly. Yeah, which isn't good. I don't know. There's a lot I could choose from that I just personally didn't enjoy, but that's not to say that others would agree with me. Like there'd be a lot of people who's like, "Oh, how dare you?" And they'd come to those characters' defenses.
They do that
but
anyway.
This is true. This is true. But this is different than what I feel like this question is about. Because in that case, there'd be a list of characters that I would put on there.
Right.
That, you know who needs to go on the fucking list? You know who else I don't enjoy at all, and they can just die. What's the character in Ragnarok and Ragnarok 2 that follows Thor around?
Talking about Korg?
Yes, Korg. They fuck him up, dude. Korg in the comics?
Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
A ride or die. Korg in the movie, and a waste of space. A waste of fucking time.
I can agree with you there.
Same thing with Valkyrie in the movie. Don't like anything about her. I'm trying to think of something in the first movie that she brought to the table that I enjoyed. And she's dangerously teetering closer to that. Maybe she brought something important to the film and I don't recall it, and people still enjoyed her character, even though I'm a negative Nancy, versus I don't think she brought anything to the film at all. And she's on my shit list because of it.
I think that at least
on both films, fuck it.
I think that at least for Ragnarok, she would have seemed, at least from my perspective, more vital to the film had not everyone else also been comic relief. But when you're comic relief in the movie that has nothing but comic relief, then you get kind of lost in the shuffle. And that's kind of where Valkyrie is with me in Ragnarok.
Like a Saturday Night Live.
And not right, yeah, Ragnarok, yeah.
Yeah, either of them.
Right.
We know you're talking about two movies, yeah.
Now, in the sequel, the Ragnaroking, Love and Thunder of the Ragnaroking, whatever it's called, that movie. I think that in that one, in that one, I think is maybe even worse because she actually had like a very powerful and prominent position that they really could have, shown Heavy is the crown, or Heavy is the head who bears the crown. They really could have leaned into that. They didn't. But so like they had the opportunity for that character to really step it up and to be fleshed out, to holy shit, I'm the ruler of Asgard. The Allfather was on to something like with all the fucking gray hair she had, because this shit is not easy.
Yeah.
But no, we really don't see a whole lot of that either.
Yeah.
So
I'm pulling a lot from Marvel. So going to DC, regarding their movies, I'm trying to think back on movies that I found completely devalued. I'm not really finding anything in my mind. However, on their TV shows, bro, there's a fucking hit list. Let me load this clip fresh because I'm going to need every bullet for these goddamn people, okay? I'm talking all the CDW. Like, the entire cast. Now, that is purely my opinion. That has nothing to do with the context of your... In the context of your question and how it's being phrased, it can't be everyone because then the story's pointless, which in my mind it is, because it's told poorly, thus why tell it, But because the show actually has to exist, there's a number of characters that I would just say, no, fuck them. You stopped bringing shit to the table 10 episodes into season 1. Cisco, what's the Caitlyn bitch who becomes Ice bitch?
Yeah.
Literally the entire cast. The one famous actor who actually, like, his only job is to be the run, Barry.
He was the best thing about the first 2 seasons.
He was, but that's sad because both seasons are still trash.
No, I really enjoy. I was stand by Flash seasons 1 and 2.
No, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, the CW verse, Supergirl. What's the new show they're trying to come out with? I saw an advertisement.
Gotham Knights.
No, I heard about that one, but there's another one, isn't there? Another Supergirl?
You mean Naomi?
Maybe, yeah.
It's already out.
Is it? Okay.
I mean, you're not talking about Batgirl or
Batwoman. No, that came and died very fast. Yeah, I mean, we all know that was pointless.
Even for CW standards, that was. I can't really because
never left the ground.
It didn't. I'm not really sure what else because I feel like a lot of those shows are starting to wind down on CW.
They got it. CW's realizing their shit.
Yeah,
they're all the same.
Yeah,
Legends of Tomorrow, Green Arrow, Supergirl, Fuckface, they're all the same.
Fuckface.
Yeah. Eternals, there's a couple of cast members in that served no purpose realistically because it was just poorly done, poorly put together. I mean, yeah, I do gotta bring it back home though. Why are we giving the Why are we curious about this, my friend?
I don't know. I was just curious about it because I think when we were talking either last week or for our Black Panther review, it might have been last week when we had the episode with the homie Oz.
Oh, Riri, add her to the list too. She's on my shit list.
But it's just the fact that what a lot of people, they can figure out what they like based on what they look for, and I figure you can also reverse engineer that. Like, there's probably things
they like,
or people, they look for things that they don't like, and then if that is present, then whereas with other people, the same shit that someone dislikes may not bother them at all, and so I'm like, that is like a kind of a very interesting criteria.
Yeah, that kind of breaks that kind of begins the whole science of opinion almost, like calling it a science even, which is fair because if I see qualities in a character that I personally don't like, then sure, I would totally understand and even agree to the idea, the concept that, I see these qualities in that character, thus I don't like them. And even, if I was, not in this podcasting mind frame, which we are so often, I would bridge the thought too quickly to say that they're just an overall bad character, i.e., good example, Loki's not on the shit list because I don't like the character, sure, but that's not to say they're a bad character. That's unfair. That's bridging that gap there a little too hard.
See, I think that's where you and I like slightly differ because I think that Loki is a bad character now.
Oh, no, now in the TV show, yes. But, like, I'm talking about Loki in its continuity from, like, the first to the latest appearance. Like, first appearance, Loki was pretty awesome. Everyone liked Loki pretty good. And then, like, as it continued on, I didn't mind him. It's cool. He had having a good time. Thor 2, etc. And then we get, Loki in the TV show. I'm like, nope, this is bad. Yeah, I don't like this. But that's not to say that, like, episode 1 was entirely bad or some shit. I don't, granted, it was to you and me. Like, we hated episode 1. Right. But someone else might say, I don't know, maybe a bad example. Because now I'm getting too deep in my own metaphor. Fuck.
It's just it's interesting because it's like, not trying to pat ourselves on the back here, but, like, we do actually discuss why or what we look for and why we like certain things. Like the why is such an important question.
It is.
It is. And again, like, I feel like so many people out there, especially like online critics or other reviewers, like they discuss their their what in terms of what they like, and it's like their why is so vastly different, but the why is so little often discussed. You know, and I'm like, that is one of the most important things, because if what you look for in a quality product isn't what someone else is looking for, then, you know.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just thinking about that. I know for me, I do have to go ahead and say this really quick. Sure. I'm very disappointed you did not throw either the comic book version or the live action version of Captain Marvel on that list. She's
dude, that's because I've heard that shit from my brain all the time. Yeah, no, she sucks balls.
She's awful.
Yeah, she's all definitely on the shit list. Yeah, yeah, man. You know, I went to those rehab classes that were advertised to kind of get that memory out of your head. Yeah. So that's me.
Like somehow I derive more joy from Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze than I do from any version of Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel.
Do you remember his puns? Bro, if you watch them now as an adult, they're funny how bad they are. So that brings me more joy than she does.
Yeah.
Which is not to say he's a good character.
He's awful.
He's bad.
Yeah, he's very, very bad.
Horribly bad.
Yeah, Paul Dini recreates the character in this super tragic, backstory and the super tragic motive. And Joel Shoemaker and Arnold Schwarzenegger like, fuck that, ice puns. And we'll sprinkle a little bit of Nora in the background somewhere. Okay. But enough of that. Homies, one and all, welcome back to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I am here with the homie Kevin.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back.
I hope you all have been having yourselves a grand old time out there.
And a merry little Christmas, depending on when you're listening to this.
I was just thinking about that. Like a happy holidays coming up, but especially if you celebrate Thanksgiving, that is coming up in the time we're recording this.
Yes, it is. Happy Turkey Day. And for those, for the homies that are not part of the country, happy whatever you have to eat this Thursday day.
Indeed.
Yes.
Half the homies out there thinking, I don't got that plan.
Go ahead and plan it now. Celebrate it.
And let us know.
Yes.
We get a message. I ate a turkey sandwich. You're close.
Oh, you are very
close.
Yes.
That's going to be us Friday.
Yeah, seriously. Gotta be honest, not to go off into this tangent because it's so fucking not important, but
go on the tangent.
I am not a huge fan of turkey, even on Thanksgiving.
Dude, give me some fucking love. Me neither. Yeah, it's like it's one of the lamest meats. It's not super tasty.
You have American Thanksgiving, which for again for your homies who are outside the country, whatever kind of gross eating behaviors you heard about Americans is definitely true, and it's especially true on Thanksgiving. And so, like, there's just this smorgasbord of different foods.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, there's this and there's this is also, and then there's turkey over here.
You want to hear something funny? So Q and I, no surprise to longtime listeners, Q and I are from the southern states of the United States, guys, especially to the foreign brothers and sisters listening right now. We're from the state of Georgia, which is very southern, and maybe culturally different. No, definitely culturally different from the rest of our country. Not to say we're elevated or de-elevated. We're just different. Mm-hmm. Everybody's different for another. Does your family, at your Thanksgiving, brother, do you guys have turkey and ham at every Thanksgiving?
I mean, yeah. Yeah, you need
Why?
options. You need options.
Why? Bro, what the? Like, I've never understood why we have both.
What do you mean
I'm grateful we have both because the ham is always much better. The ham slaps and the turkey's
I mean, that's almost like saying, man, you have mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese at your Thanksgiving. You need options. A man needs options.
But no, like, it never made sense to me.
Why not?
So
only one meat to you makes sense?
No,
Okay,
brother,
okay.
Listen. I have love for both, okay? Like, on Turkey Day, yeah, give me some turkey. I'll eat that shit. But I'm going to get more ham than turkey on that plate because the ham's delicious.
We might even have a chicken. Fuck the one meat thing. The fuck do you think this is?
Bro, it's like, but it's celebrated as Turkey Day. Why are we eating
It's
a
celebrated-
goddamn ham?
Celebrated as Thanksgiving,
Yes. So you,
not Turkey Day. That's just a shorthand.
no, my agony needs to be heard. I never understood why we started making both. It's like, but we're gaslighting the turkey here.
So you say you don't understand why we eat both, but I mean,
Is
you
it because
just
no one likes the turkey?
there you go.
What the fuck? Why do we all do? Oh my!
Because some people like turkey. Fuck it. Thanksgiving is a glorified family buffet, Kevin. And if you go to a buffet and they only got one goddamn meat, then it's a pretty fucking lame buffet.
It is a lame buffet, brother. This is making my heart hurt. Yeah, like for years I've held on to this argument, and I'm like, why do we do both? Like I understand the ham is better, but why is there both? Jesus Christ! I didn't realize I had such a deep-rooted, heartful connection to this problem.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, it's obvious.
No, it's good. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying don't like only give me turkey or only give me ham. I'm just wondering how it came to be, and I guess it's because no one likes the turkey. Everyone says, "Man, the turkey's dry as fuck."
And even, by the way, even if you cook a turkey correctly, then ham just tastes better. I'm sorry.
How do you guys cook your turkey?
I mean, whoever makes it. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
I just throw up and eat.
Bro, so, and Q, maybe your family's very different. Let's talk about this for a minute. I'm having fun.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, dude. My family, and I love them to death. I love my family. I actually am very estranged. I'm a man stuck in the doorway, both in and outside with my family, because my father, he was born and raised with a family that, you know, they're not loaded by any means. No one's rich. No one has silver spoons in my family. It's more like my dad's family had better money management skills. They all went to school. They all got fantastic jobs, and they're all naturally talented. So much so that you love to fucking hate them because they're so great at everything they do. You know, I got cousins who are lawyers. I got fucking, you know, that's that family. Like your stereotypical, like, man, they're an amazing family, and that's amazing. And like my family is like the black sheep of that part of the family. But then my mom's side is super Southern. There's nothing formal. There's nothing like two amazing opposites. Like one is like when you go to those family get-togethers, brother, you gotta get that fine sweater and them good khakis, and you gotta dress up to the lowercase t's, you know, not to the capital T. Mm-hmm. You don't dress to the 9s, you dress to the 7s, you know, and it's still super formal. But then for my Southern family, brother, you can come in dusty boots and torn jeans, and everyone's gonna love you. And both are good. I'm not saying either family's bad for any means necessary. Both are good for entirely different definitions. My mom's side knows how to cook, though. We always have Thanksgiving with my mom's side. All right, that's just a factoid. That super deep, super country family, the family that wonders how I don't have the accent to this day. They're like, they know how to cook. They always deep fry that shit. That turkey, they fucking baptize it in butter and lard and grease, and that's what we have for Thanksgiving. How about you?
Yeah, we have food. There's lots of food.
Cool.
Yeah.
You should ask them how they cook the turkey. I want to know.
Let me tell you, I'm so curious about how they cook that turkey. Let me tell you.
Are you not?
No, I don't give a shit.
Oh, brother.
If it tastes good, it tastes good.
How do they cook that ham?
They cook the shit. I don't fucking fucking know.
Well, we bake ours. Thank you very much.
Yes.
We bake that shit.
That's good to know.
Like pineapple and like, oh man, good shit.
Well, homies,
Happy Thanksgiving, homies.
I assume that you gentlemen and you fine ladies out there are here for the main event here, the main course, if you will, to stick with this food theme. And so today's topic is one that I have been itching for and anticipating for quite some time now.
What's up?
Just a few weeks ago, Kevin and I had the privilege to be a part of the Superhero Show. That's an amazing podcast They cover a lot of superhero material that, quite frankly, Kevin and I don't have the time and or desire to do. And so, thankfully, these fine men and women on that show, they do a fantastic job. Definitely check them out. And you can also hear us on there as well. But Ryan from the Superhero Show issued us a challenge, whereas he challenged us to review and not just review, but to rank the Disney Plus MCU television shows. Well, I see your challenge, Ryan, and I raise you. You see, recently also, I'm going to use quotation marks here and be nice here. The esteemed website, IGN. Some of you guys may be familiar with that. It's a nerd-based website, video games, comic book, TV shows, and all that kind of stuff.
They've
been
around
for not a sponsor, definitely not a sponsor. They've been around for quite some time now. I think they've lost all journalistic integrity for the most part. But I mean, hey, I enjoyed their website when I was a kid. But they recently put out a list that the homie Caleb sent to me, and their list was them ranking the entirety of Phase 4 of the MCU. And the homie Caleb, I believe he said it made his brain melt by how dumb their list was. And I honestly did not want to look at it. But I'm like, the homie sent a link, and let me at least check it out. And I looked at it, and sure enough, their link was fucked up, as one could imagine. Now, with that being said, I do have to give them props because that did spark the idea, why not kill two birds with one stone? We can both rank the Disney Plus MCU shows while also ranking Phase 4 in its entirety. So that's what we're going to be doing here today. Ranking Phase 4 of the MCU from from worst to best. Now, there's only one possible option for best. But for those of you who have no clue what that is, we won't spoil it.
So are we doing an entire list, just to clarify for the homies in the back, one list consisting mixed of both TV and movies regarding the MCU in Phase 4?
Yes.
Consisting of, I pulled up the IGN list out of curiosity. I see here that they broke down 16. So am I to understand that we're to take that 16 and shuffle it in the honest and correct order with journalistic integrity?
Yes,
indeed. That is a shout out, IGN.
And roping back to our code open, this is obviously, of course, in our opinion, according to what we think is good and why we think these things should be where they're at. So yes, that is the topic of discussion. We are officially done with Phase 4. Thank fucking God.
Amen.
Phase 4 has...
It was a shit phase.
Phase 4 has come to an end. That was painful, man. That was a painful ass phase to sit through.
Like, realistically, the list is like 10 of them are going to be bad. 5 of them are going to be like bad-ish. And then the top 5 are going to be like, okay, there's good qualities in these. And then top 1, we know what top 1's going to be already. We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
That's no competition. God damn.
So
interesting challenge. I like.
Indeed.
Yes.
So seeing that there's 16 topics here, I thought that the best way to do this would be to break it up into sections of 4.
Fair. Okay. Are we going to do this as a multi-part episode, or
I mean, I think that there's only 16 here, so we can knock this out in one episode.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're very optimistic. I likes.
Well,
okay.
What can I say? So with that being said, for those of you who listen to our rankings of the MCU villain episodes, this will be a similar format to that. So what Kevin and I are going to do, we're going to start off with the bottom 4, what we think are the bottom 4 TV shows and or movies in Phase 4. And we're going to select the 4 items that we think are in the lowest tier. And then from there, once we come to an agreement on which 4 belong in the bottom, then we're going to work on ranking those 4. And then we're going to move on to the next 4 and do the same thing and so forth and so on.
This is going to be hard. Homies, I want you to know that I'm not enjoying this yet. Just because there's... Jesus Christ. I feel like I'm just like cementing the title you gave me earlier. Kevin, the king of the negative. And it's like, fuck.
You don't have to embrace it, brother.
I don't want to embrace it. I do not wear such crown. That crown is not for this head. I will find some shit. I literally wrote down Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is Doctor 2. Oh, that's right. We had Mom. Dr. Mom.
Dr.
Yes,
Mom.
yes.
Yep.
I forgot about that already.
Doctor
Yes.
Strange mom. Okay, so, man, yeah, this is gonna be interesting, man. I'm curious to see how we're going to match up on what we think belongs in the bottom 4.
I'm still kind of writing down each of the potential options here.
That is fine. While you do that, I will definitely filibust for the homies here.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
So for those of you who maybe don't remember, Phase 4 has the following items. We have Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, Thor, Love and Thunder, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and Werewolf by Night. So those are the 16 TV shows / movies that we will be covering. And yeah, I believe technically the first movie to come out in Phase 4, I believe, was Black Widow. And yeah, obviously the last thing to come out was Black Panther 2. So yeah, I guess that's about a 2-year phase. I guess that's like the normal time frame for a phase. Looking back, actually no, not maybe. I don't fucking know. I don't know how long these phases typically last. But you know, just the interesting thing here about putting together a list like this is that like we've ranked the MCU villains, and that was super fun to do. But we never actually sat down and ranked like a phase, and so this is going to be an interesting first for us. Yeah, I have a slight advantage because I was thinking about this for like the past week at work. Like how would I if it were up to me? Yeah. But even then it got difficult because I could only get to like the first 4 and then the number 1. And and I'm like, geez, I don't know what I don't know what I'm gonna do for like all the in-between stuff. And it is interesting because technically while Phase 4 is over, we are not as of yet done with the MCU this year. We still have one more MCU project this year.
Is it Phase 4?
It is not Phase 4, no.
Good.
No, Phase 4 ended with Black Panther 2.
Excellent.
But it is the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. And I think that it has a chance to be like the best thing that they've done besides number 1.
Amen. Yeah. It really does. The bar is low.
I mean, I wouldn't say that the bar is just so low, but there is a wide berth for me between 1 and everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
so ironically enough, the top half of the list is easy for me. Like I'm kind of working down, which I shouldn't. I need to work up from 16 and up, you know. I found the obvious number 1.
Right.
And then I worked down from there. It's like, okay, cool. And I got through a decent chunk of the list actually. Just kind of like writing down from, you know, what I got, what we know was quality, what we know was pretty damn good.
Okay.
Working down from there. Yeah. But let me choose my bottom 4 real quick. So I'm just gonna filibuster here with you out loud for a minute. Jesus Christ. I wonder how close our bottom 4 are gonna be, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was curious about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my bottom 4, like once I thought about it was easy. I think my bottom 4 might be the easiest that I have. And I mean, technically that's all I have, but I think that everything else is going to be a lot harder for me to put together.
Honestly, I'm 1 through 8 ready.
Oh wow, yes, I haven't even looked at any of that yet.
Yeah. Like that's the easy part. And that's good. I got some ideas here though. So don't look at what I'm writing down. Don't cheat on the test.
You are like I can fucking read your chicken scratch to begin with.
My chicken scratch is beautiful. All right, this is a handsome ass chicken scratch.
It's like saying that your baby has the best smelling dirty diaper.
Oh, bro, are you proud of that?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be proud of that. I'm scratching them out also as I put them down. Yeah, that somehow. Give me a second. Also,
now for the homies listening, this will be a combined list, so we're gonna have to work together here to focus on.
Sure, to finalize the list together. Yes. I'm curious. Knowing us, we've been very lucky in the past, and we've chosen things coincidentally together.
Right.
Really well, you know. Ooh, fuck. Oh, dadgummit. Fuck me. Okay.
There's probably some things that you really feel like should be in the bottom four, but just can't. Like that's how I feel.
The bottom four needs to be bigger.
I was very surprised by what did not make the bottom four for me.
Right. Same here. I'm kind of like Jesus Christ. Like there's no real winning. What the fuck is this? Oh, okay. That's right. So we'll do Jesus Christ. Am I missing one? I think I'm missing one. What am I missing? I lost one somewhere.
Well, geez.
Oh, no, I didn't. We're good. No.
Homies, what do you think are the bottom four?
I really actually would love some commentary.
Yeah.
We hear from like the same 4 or 5 homies. I'd love to hear from the rest of the audience out there. We're anxiously awaiting those inboxes. No, I'm gonna be adding in shit, so I'm gonna borrow the pin longer. But I'm ready. Yeah.
All right. Would you like to read off your bottom four first? Would you let me read off mine?
I'll go ahead and read mine off because I'm not proud of this. Because I'm not proud of Phase 4. You know, I'm not proud of Marvel in this entire iteration. It was lazy. It wasn't great storytelling. There's a lot to unpack here, but obviously there's going to be a lot of breadth for that later. 16, She-Hulk. 15, Eternals. 14, Thor Ragnarok 2, God of Love and Thunder. 13, Loki. How about you?
Okay, close. I don't have these ranked yet. I just have what my bottom four are. I don't have them in any order though.
Okay.
I have Black Widow.
Okay.
Loki.
Okay.
She-Hulk.
Okay.
And Eternals.
I'm putting a little Q symbol. So, yeah. So we got 3 out of 4 same. So Thor didn't make bottom 4.
No, Thor
It
to
rhymes,
me.
though.
Yeah, Thor to me it has. There are things that I like in Thor more compared to those other 4 projects.
That's fair. It's really like the bottom 6 are really interchangeable for me. It depends on what day of the week you ask me. If you ask me a Wednesday, 16 is She-Hulk, ride or die. If you ask me on a Tuesday, 16 could be Black Widow, ride or die. Because both of those just did not come to the table prepared, man. Like, very poor performances. As a movie, not as like the actress or any particular roles. No, just overall product is the evaluation here.
I think that Loki's the worst of the worst. Yeah. When I think about She-Hulk or Black Widow, especially Black Widow, I can think about things and moments or events that I thought were good, sequences that were good, moments that looked good. I can't think of a single thing that I really enjoyed about Loki.
I don't disagree. Yeah, with a lot of this, I won't disagree because at this point, it's like shit's shit. Like all of these are ranked 16 for me. So the rest of this is just we're arguing which color shit's the better. It's all shit. So Yeah, 16 is Loki. I like it.
Yeah. So here's the thing about like the Loki TV show, and the thing that I find the most frustrating. I don't find it frustrating that so many people enjoy this show. I find it frustrating that I don't understand why they enjoy it. Because with most things that like the general fan base enjoys that we don't like, I can connect and understand what they see in it. I don't see the appeal to the Loki TV show. I think it's a complete disgrace to the character. I think that it is a poor attempt at a bait and switch. I think that it almost begins the phase of also like having some of the worst CG and blatant green screening that we've seen in the MCU, which used to not even be a thing. I think that it has reduced the main villain of Phase 1 by having him being knocked out cold by a fucking time cop. I think that they reduced the entirety of the first 3 phases by belittling the Infinity Gems. I think that this show tries to play setup for a big bad, but I think it's painfully obvious at this point that like the payoff, they didn't really know how to do it. They want us to feel like we need to watch these Disney Plus shows to understand the bigger picture, but in reality, nothing in Phase 4 is tied together. Loki hasn't tied anything together. Will Loki even be in Ant-Man 3, which will feature Kang the Conqueror, which the Loki finale tries to boast, like, oh, he's on the way. They introduce Sylvie, and they have Loki in a very masturbatory manner explain to us how Sylvie is just this extraordinary, amazing, brilliant, excellent, blah, blah, blah character without actually showing us. And when you know it, Kevin, the Loki that we've known throughout all these years is not even the Lokiest Loki. She is. The Loki that we know is not cunning, he is not clever, he is not conniving. He is Tom Hiddleston cosplaying as Loki. And for all those reasons and more, Loki is definitely my number 16.
Who the fuck is Sylvie?
The variant that co-stars in the show with him. You remember at Comic-Con, like we kept seeing like the Loki with the one horn. You know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that bitch. Yeah, blonde Loki.
Yes.
I was just kind of like, you introduced the name, and I'm just kind of like, is he talking about Kid Loki? What the fuck are we doing, bro? You're off script. No, I'm off script. I need to yell back to the guy. Line. Thank you. Yeah, Sylvie. Of course I remembered.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I agree with you, dude. Loki pissed me off. Like, I'm glad WandaVision started off the MCU in regards to the TV shows.
Especially that
because if it was Loki, because if it was Loki, I wouldn't have continued watching anything.
Like if this is the bar, well, if Loki was the bar, I would be like, it can only go up from here, and I think I'd be right.
That's positive, and that's very good. But that would have just caused further impatience with me because it's like I can enjoy other things.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna slouch through this bullshit. I'm not going to like meander through this swamp in order to find nuggets of bronze. You know, I can find gold elsewhere, and this brought nothing. So I agree with you. Yeah, 16, fuck you, Loki.
Yep. And also, for those who don't know, FYI, Sylvie is actually Sylvie Lushton from the comics, the second Enchantress. This is yet the MCU again taking characters who they know the casual fan base isn't familiar with and repurposing them. That's why we're here, homies, to fill you guys in.
Bro, why didn't we talk about that earlier?
I thought we've mentioned it like offhand.
I wasn't with you on that episode.
Really? Oh, okay.
You and I, Quentin and Kevin, the duo.
We've never talked about that?
We never talked about that shit. What the fuck? I don't even need a minute. Let's steamroll past it, bro. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Bro, are you guys kidding me? You listeners out there bought that? What the fuck? Oh, guys, why do we settle for shit?
Yep.
Oh, how many hours did you work today, Quentin?
I worked a long day today.
Oh, yeah? How many hours?
I had to guess 10, 11.
Here's $5. Good job.
Oh,
Good
wow.
job. You don't know any better, so here's $5 You see how it feels? Jesus Christ. Let's move on. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm a little angry, actually, but let's move on. Okay. 15.
All right, 15,
Our
man.
pick is from She-Hulk Eternals. You dropped Black Widow. I dropped Thor 2.
That's right.
Indeed.
Okay.
I would vote. Do we go movie or TV show? Because if we go TV show,
I think
it's
like
She-Hulk.
I think either or, whichever one we think is
She-Hulk.
I can vibe with that.
Yeah.
I can vibe with that.
The way that they tried to break out of things, I commend them for trying to do something different. I'm never going to shoot that down and say, how dare you try to do something different. The thing I'm upset about is what they chose to do was very poor in quality. What they chose to do was demeaning to the MCU production studios for a couple of reasons. Is demeaning to other pre-established characters, i.e. Daredevil, Abomination, fucking the OG Hulk, really the only Hulk we've seen on screen, arguably. And it's, I don't know, man. It's sad when the TV show, to find value, has to devalue something else.
Yeah.
It's like watching a politician's commercial. It's like, you're not finding value in politician A because they insult and throw mud at B.
Yeah.
That's what they did. That's the She-Hulk TV show.
Yeah. I mean, shit. Yeah. I'll say this. Like, in all honesty, you got to commend the show because, like, a show that is a superhero female-led comedy that breaks the fourth wall. You need to go watch Harley Quinn. It's a much better show that does the same thing 10 times better. Let me give you like an example of what I mean here, because you and I, we watched the Harley Quinn TV show together, seasons 1 and 2, and reviewed every episode of it. And man, we had a blast with that show.
So good.
But I remember that there were several moments in the She-Hulk show where they consistently, preemptively talk shit about the fans who have criticism for their show. And it's like you guys are trying to put up a defense for something that technically when you made, the fan base hadn't even criticized yet. So it's like that is shit, but you're attempting to deflect by saying, well, we got the trolls. Now, contrast that with an episode of Harley Quinn, out of all the episodes, one that maybe made us laugh the hardest, that opened up with these two guys sitting on the couch, watching the Harley Quinn TV show,
so good,
critiquing it, and we were howling because we were like, that's us. The show made a very, very funny meta joke, and it wasn't trying to belittle us. Never did we feel it was trying to belittle us, but we certainly feel that, man, they're talking about us, and we got to admit that is fucking funny.
Right.
With She-Hulk, it's like this show was clearly written by people who have no love for the comic book industry, who used She-Hulk as a vehicle to push whatever kind of ideology they have in mind, because the character gen was never put first. She remained the same from episode 1 through episode 9 or 10, however many episodes there were. There's little to no character development in this. This show is a hodgepodge, Kevin, that tries to do everything and ends up being nothing as a result. It has the worst CG of everything in Phase 4. Hands down.
Yeah.
It's got the worst.
Yeah.
It's got a story that goes nowhere. Kevin, the main villain is toxic masculinity. It's the big bad. I'm like, you're fucking She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And the big bad here is really toxic masculinity. And then like they threw everything they could at that finale and nothing stuck. And also, I I'm not gonna say that the show isn't funny because people find it funny. I didn't find it funny. Again, I think if you want a show like this that's actually really good, just check out the Harley Quinn animated TV show.
Right.
But yeah, man, like this show really went for it, but for me it just didn't land on anything.
You want to know what made the difference between this show trying to troll all the audience as it's being produced versus the Harley Quinn show whenever they troll the audience for that episode?
What's that?
Earlier, you made mention of this, actually, where the trolling that's going on for the She-Hulk television series is talking about all of masculinity. Like, it's trolling an entirety of audience watching, it's trolling a fan base, and it's trolling the toxic masculinity because, like you said, that was the big daddy in the end of it all.
Right.
Whereas, if you watch the Harley Quinn show, they're not trying to be a one-man versus an army like John Wick. They're trolling the fans because they're pulling their shit directly from the comics.
Right.
And pre-existing other Batman products,
Right.
i.e. the Christopher Nolan movies and things like that, you know?
Fucking Darkseid shows up in the finale for one of the seasons.
Exactly.
You know? Like like that's the kind of shit that they did in that show.
Yeah.
And it worked.
And it worked really well. Yeah. And even though both shows did trolling, the big difference, like you said, is one is trolling in self-defense, tonally, and one is trolling in jest because they know the fans. They know what they're going to say because the people making the show are also the fans.
Yeah, and that was also, by the way, season 2.
Yeah.
So they had time to look at, like, the toxic fans and what they had to say about the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, this was not a good show, man. I think another reason for me why this one ranks so low is because I expected so much from the show. And I didn't get it.
At this point, so far into the Disney... nope, I'm not going to say that. Hey, moving on. Number
Let's
14.
move on. Yeah. Yes, number 14. Yeah, man, I got to go with Eternals on this one.
Yeah, no, agreed. That's the common denominator between our selection. So, yeah. I mean... We can't sit too long with all of these because then this episode's going to be 3 hours long. And I don't want to talk about bad things for 3 hours. But
it'll start getting better eventually.
It'll start getting better. There'll be one amazing thing to talk about, a few really good things. Like 2 really good things to talk about. But yeah, Eternals. Not at all what it could have been. Like absolutely just shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first exploration to the cosmic space, into the grandiose, deeper theology of what made the MCU, of what made the superheroes and the Earth universe as we know it, and it kind of shat on itself.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I tell you what, I think that something this actually did good. I like the cinematography of Chloe Zhao. I think that she shot a really good looking movie.
Yeah. And
she has some really good cinematic moments. I thought that like the first fight between the Deviant Crow and Icarus looked really good. But that's honestly where like my pros begin and end for this movie. It was a bore fest.
It was, yeah. I agree with you though. The indie director that they got for this, that was really good. I think that was a great call. I would honestly bring her back. Just get a different board of story writers, you know?
Please, yes.
Yeah, please, yeah. There was some handsome stuff in this movie, but the story itself was not one.
Yeah, forgettable characters, a forgettable story, and people memed this movie to death before, during, and after it came out. Where the fuck were the Eternals? And they tried to answer that, but their answer is a fucking joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll move on here. So number 13. So you say Thor.
I say Thor.
And I say Black Widow.
Both are bad. I'm accepting of both. But if Thor doesn't make 13, he's 12 regardless.
No, I tell you what, man. When I was putting this list together with the top 5, Thor was going to be like that.
Like bottom tier, like bottom 4 or something like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
let's run it.
Yeah, so I have to put Black Widow at 13, and I'll put Thor at 12.
That's fair, because, I mean, At least Thor wasn't already dead for his movie.
That's a very interesting bar, but yes.
I mean, let's be honest, and I don't. You know what? I do mean to sound like the asshole here. This is the Rogue One of Marvel movies.
Rogue One had a great finale.
That's fair. Rogue One had a great finale. It led up to something. This didn't. Regardless, this is the Rogue One of the Marvel movies because it's talking about characters that either A, are no longer with us. Rest in peace, Black Widow herself. Not Scarlett Johansson. She's okay.
Right.
Not this episode. But, knock on wood, I hope she's okay. Yeah,
She better be. Last time she tested me, she said she was all right.
She's checking you too? But, yeah, it's just hard to tell a story about a character and get the audience excited about them whenever you've already seen the character's demise.
Yeah.
You know, that's... I'm not sure if it's a critique because at this juncture it was awkwardly planned. It should not have been set in this order.
No, you're right.
And it weakened the plot for me at least, you know, because it's like, oh, cool. She made a great sacrifice on screen. It was impactful. It was dramatic. It was meaningful. And then we get this movie and it's like, well, that's cool, I guess. And then it just wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, you're right. On top of all that, it wasn't a good movie, but I do agree with everything you just said there because, people have been clamoring for a Black Widow movie since Winter Soldier. Yeah. And, I mean, that was the time to strike because she was like the MVP of Winter Soldier.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, we get to see her again in, like, Age of Ultron. We get to see, like, how she wants this relationship with Bruce Banner, how, like, they're both monsters of a different kind. And how there's this connection, but Bruce pushes away, and they just kind of adds to the torment that Nat has to deal with. And, you know, so you get to see the development of this character from Iron Man to all the way up to her demise in Endgame. And you're like, damn, that's a fucking arc.
Yeah.
And then they try to shoehorn a movie in after the fact. I mean, you're right. That was just poor planning on the part of Marvel. There's no reason why that should have happened that way. And you know, also like you said, Kevin, if you're going to do a posthumous movie about a character who's already dead, then make sure it's a damn good movie.
Right.
And they did not.
That shouldn't. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Taskmaster was, first of all, ask a casual fan base what they thought of Taskmaster, and they'll say, who?
Yeah.
And that's a fucking shame. And they took away his biggest component. You know how, like, part of the joke of Wolverine origin was how they stitched up Deadpool's mouth?
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Taskmaster. Yeah. They took away his ability to talk shit. Mm-hmm. They took her ability, whatever. They took away the character's ability to talk shit, and instead they did what, Kevin? They made Taskmaster a sympathetic villain. Yeah. One who's just as much a victim as anyone else, wouldn't you know it? And yeah, shit fell flat. So I mean, if I had to say something good about this movie, I'm glad that we got Yelena Belova from it. I really like Florence Pugh in the role. I think that she's a good fit.
Yeah, agreed. That was a positive.
Yeah. David Harbour, on the other hand, if we could just hit the reset button on him, that'd be great.
Yeah, Captain Canada. No.
Captain.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I gave him a nickname, son. That's right.
Okay.
Tell me you didn't like that alliteration.
That was not a bad one, even though he's not from Canada.
Why'd that get me? I knew he wasn't.
Right.
But that still made me laugh. Anyways.
So
okay.
Let's work on our next batch of 4.
Oh, yes.
12 through 9. So we already technically know what 12 is, but yeah.
12?
So we just did 16,
yes,
15.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay. So let's see here. Wow. Okay. We both kind of made like a weird noise at the same time.
Yeah, I'm over here just like these are thinking noises.
Yeah.
They're very loud.
They are, yeah. They're very grumbly, motorcycle-y sounding noises. Those are our thinking noises. All right, don't get.
At least they're not rip off of famous comedians like, you know. Yeah. Someone out there understood that joke. Christ, what am I doing?
Man, so again, I wish this was done in categories of 5, but 4 is fair.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, it breaks too evenly into groups.
It does, yeah.
So I think I got mine ready.
Okay, I think I do too.
Okay. I'll go ahead and go first again.
Okay.
So Thor 2, number 12. We already knew that.
Thor 4.
That's what I said.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep calling it Ragnarok 2.
Oh, okay.
So my shorthand is shorthanding again. So excuse me. Thor 4.
Yes.
There we go. Dark World was better than 4. My 11 is Miss Marvel. My 10 is Moon Knight. And my 9 is Black Panther 2.
See, we were so close.
Really? Your Black Panther 2 is different, isn't it?
I couldn't decide between Black Panther 2 and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Ah, me neither.
Yeah.
Dude, me neither. Okay. That's good shit. I put Falcon and Winter Soldier above Black Panther 2 because even though it was a TV show, there were some things that really worked for me. The Anthony Mackie and the Sebastian Stan relationship, that hits. Yeah. That's a win. I love their chemistry on screen, whether it's dramatic or comedic. That shit hit multiple times. So for me, that's an 8. Yeah.
I'll concede to that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Dude, wait, are you serious? We hit it right on the money. Miss Marvel, Moon Knight.
Yeah, I mean, again, mine aren't in any order, but yeah, those are my 4.
Oh, good, good shit, brother. Hey,
Yeah.
give me another cheers over here.
Yeah.
Here's some fucking love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our next round of movies, 12 through 9,
And TV shows.
and TV shows. So we decided that it's got to be we're going with Thor.
Yep.
Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and Black Panther 2.
Nice.
All right. So we already agreed that number 12 has to be Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, he's only number 12 because there wasn't enough room to put him in the
Right.
bottom shit.
Yeah. So I do want to do something interesting here and talk about, because we did a whole, of course, review episode talking about why this movie didn't work for us.
Okay.
But let's talk about why this movie, at least for me, isn't quite as bad as 16 through 13. It's close, but yeah, so I'll go ahead and say this, especially looking at this list, Thor at least has one fight scene that I really enjoy. I cannot say that about any of the other movies up here, really.
It also had Christian Bale, which is a good point.
Yeah, had Christian Bale, which is a good
Christian
point.
Bale.
Yeah.
We like Christian Bale.
We do.
Now we sound like cult nerds.
What else is good about this movie, Kevin? Kevin asked you a question. I said, what else is good about Thor?
Oh, I couldn't hear you. I was looking at my water and my beer.
Oh.
I couldn't decide which one I wanted to drink more. It had good music.
Okay.
I can't remember the song they used.
Some generic rock song, like they did with...
wait, Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
Guns N' Roses. Oh, fuck me. I'm going to remember. Don't tell me, homies. Don't tell me. Sweet Child of Mine.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
Yep.
There it is. It took me a minute. Guardians of the Galaxy. It was fun to see them on screen for a few minutes.
It was very interesting seeing Thor be so goofy that Peter Quill had to play the straight man. You can't make this shit up, homies.
Brother, I was being the positive here. When did we swap roles? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, all right. So Thor 4, man, number 12.
Yep, number 12, Thor 4. There it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready to move on from Thor. I don't need to talk
No, I'm done. Miss Marvel, number 11.
So Miss Marvel is your number 11. Let me see. Yeah, that tracks, actually.
Now, granted, I will put a disclaimer by that name, and that is one of the names on this list, if not the only name on this list, I will have a soft spot for, because I will live and die by the asterisk that this show was not for me. So, brother, it's no secret to you that I love going to a climbing gym, a rock climbing gym, right? There is an app that my gym uses. I don't think I've ever told you about this, where people who come in and climb can judge the routes, right? Because people, they got route setters in there who actually go up and take their time to take down the old routes, clean the holds, and put up new ones. I'm talking about a safe indoor rock climbing facility that has crazy shapes and things. It's easy to look up. Go look it up. And on this app, they can judge how good or how bad or how mediocre a route is and give it 5 stars, 4 stars, 1 star, etc. There was a dude, a grown person like you and I, who pays taxes, who drives a car, who has a job, who has a life, who went in and judged a child's route to be a 2 out of 5. And I was like, well, what the fuck are you judging this for? It's a 2 out of 5. What? It's a kid's route. Why are you climbing it? And why are you judging it? And whenever we asked him, you know what he said? Oh, I just felt like it could be better. But bro, it wasn't made for you.
Yeah.
And that was the butt of the joke that we got to him. It's like, bro, you're stupid. It wasn't made for you. Right. So I will live and agree with that. Miss Marvel was not made for me. It wasn't made for you.
I recently, in preparation for tonight's episode, I went back and I watched more of the show.
Awesome.
Yeah, just in an attempt to, because I said if I'm going to judge, if I'm going to rank it, I need to be more familiar with this show.
Fair.
If you watch one episode, you know what the show is.
This is true.
And I watched a little bit more than that, and I mean, yeah, man, like you said, this show is just it feels like a Disney Channel original movie. I mean, honestly, that isn't even me trying to be funny. That is what this show is. This show is 95% Disney and 5% Marvel.
Did you make it to the episode where Johnny Tsunami comes out?
See, that was after the Brink episode,
Oh, yeah, the Brink episode?
Yeah. And then she goes to like Hocus Pocus Town. That was weird.
She went to Hocus Pocus Town, which is actually right beside Halloween Town.
Oh, yeah.
From that movie or two.
Right.
Yeah, 2. They had 2 of
those. Yeah. And then, for some reason, she went to visit Corey in the house. I didn't know he was still in the house.
And then 13. What the fuck was the basketball player who was a leprechaun?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was one of the movies. Look this up. I'm not even kidding. Like, he played basketball, and he realized he was a leprechaun.
Bad movie descriptions by Kevin Keister, ladies and gentlemen. He went to play basketball, and then he realized, oh, shit, I'm a leprechaun. Yeah, that sounds accurate. Welcome to the podcast, folks.
I'm sorry. I'm coming back.
Yeah. I just thought that, like, I mean, like, this show, like, the more of it I watched, the more I realized that I realized that a couple things. One, I don't get the appeal, and 2, like you said, this show isn't for me. I'm not shooting any shots at anybody, but I do find it peculiar if there are grown men who genuinely enjoy this show. I'm judging you a little bit if you're a grown man and you enjoy it.
I go back to that one friend of mine from the gym who judged the route. Yeah. He judged this show. I watched the whole thing. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like, what the hell, man?
Like, and again, homies, if you guys out there, if there's any grown men out there listening to this and you watched the entirety of Miss Marvel and you enjoyed it, use a bitch. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. I said I'm kidding. Hey.
What he meant to say was that he's happy that you enjoyed it. We will not question your joy.
I'm judging you.
Jesus Christ. I go on the PSA public disclaimer. Q over here off the mic like, you's a bitch. Like, no one's a bitch.
Why you so bitch made, man?
I'm done. I think this is a great episode. Let's wrap it up, man.
Fucking hell.
We're not even halfway through the list.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, when I tried watching it again early this week, I felt weird, man. Like I need to have one of my younger siblings here with me. Like,
right? It's like being a grown person and saying that you need to watch the latest Blue's Clues episode because they just released the newest one, and you're just like, what? Why? What?
Yeah.
Did you mean to say Euphoria?
Right.
Did you mean to say something else?
Yeah, that show got titties in it. I watched every episode of Euphoria.
Yeah, right.
You know titties in this show. Homies, I've been sipping Hennessy. It's the Hennessy, all right? It's not me. I promise it's not me.
It's entirely cute. There's still Hennessy in the cup. There ain't even that much gone. I've also been sipping Hennessy. I still got half a shot left. I was just sipping it too. Jesus Christ.
Goddamn. Okay, but seriously. Seriously, okay.
Homies, I'm so sorry for those listening.
Goddamn. Okay.
Because we're just so loud in the laughter. I hope we didn't peak the fucking mics. Oh my gosh.
Okay, but as far as like the character of Kamala Khan goes,
yes.
I mean, so I can say that she's the best version of this character, but that's such a fucking low bar and it doesn't really say anything.
She only had to step over it.
Yeah.
It was on the ground.
And she damn near tripped. No. But I mean, she does a fine job with the material that she's given. The problem is nobody, and it kills me that no one realizes this, but her origin story is that of a straight up fucking villain. Like the last time a hero had a story like this was Booster Gold, and he's an obnoxious, narcissistic asshole. But here's the kicker, Kevin. The writers are aware of that. Yeah. The people who made Miss Marvel are not aware of that. Think about it. If you, and it's not fair to compare her to Peter Parker because he is, whether you love him or hate him, one of the greatest superheroes of all time. Yeah. But when you compare the two side by side, there's a reason why one quickly shot to superstardom, and why the other one is Miss Marvel. Yep. So, like with Peter, he was also an outcast in high school, just like Miss Marvel. Yeah. Okay. Peter never dreamt of having superpowers, never fucking daydreamed about it, and he never wanted superpowers. Hell, fuck Peter. We'll use Miles, okay? We'll use Spider-Man Light. We'll use Miles Morales. Miles never fucking wanted superpowers. When he got them, he wanted to get rid of them ASAP. He wanted to just be a normal kid and go to school. Kamala Khan dreams of it. She dreams of having the power. She dreams of having that kind, because why?
Creepy.
Yeah, I mean, and then when you go back to the why, like we talked about earlier, the why, it's because in her mind, maybe that'll make her feel special, and she'll feel like her idol, who is of all fucking people, Captain Marvel. I'm like, does no one realize here that in both the comic books and in this TV show, that is a villainous ass origin? Yeah. The last time we got an origin like this was that kid from fucking Incredibles 1.
Yeah, he was a dope villain. You know what's bad about this too, and we don't need to sit on Miss Marvel for much longer because at this point I'm ready to move on. But whenever you take a hero, let's say it's not even Miss Marvel. Let's say that it is Captain Underpants. You've heard of the character. Yeah. Yes. Not a superhero we often talk about. Right. In fact, this is the first in all the episodes. Yeah. That character is tailored for children. Right. Purely for children. Purely for kids. Will they ever appear in an adult film? Never. Not. I'm sorry. That came out like a porno potentially. They might.
He has appeared in an adult film. There's been plenty of Captain Underpants.
Okay, let me backtrack. Yep. He's never appeared in like a big budget superhero movie on the screen with a major, like tonally serious plot. When you tailor make and shape a character into that tone, you have to work through hell and high water with lots of creativity and lots of storyboarding with good, strong minds to get that character to work in an adult story of like our MCU proportions, like an Iron Man or a Thor or a Captain America. Because at first they're totally used to being silly and I'm for the kids and oops, butt joke. And then like, oh, now we have a serious plot. Ultron's back and he's trying to kick some fucking ass. Like, I'm sorry, your Teletubbies Dora the Explorer shit's not going to work for this.
Right.
That means tonally you're leaping bounds. And guess what? Your character's integrity, your character is going to suffer from that on a tonally aspect just on the pages alone. You know, and so that's kind of like, oh, congratulations. You played a one-man game of chess and lost. Because this character has no longevity unless it is purely in the children's content. So either that or ... it's going to be a shit movie.
Yeah.
Them's the cards.
Yeah. And those aren't very popular cards to play with.
They're not good cards. It's a real shit round of games.
It is.
Yeah.
Best
hand on table is pair of twos.
Just really quick, I guess if I had to say some good about Miss Marvel, the lead actress, she does very good with what she's given. And the show it does have like comedic moments. I thought it was way funnier than She-Hulk. So, I mean, there's that. All right, so number 10.
Butt jokes.
Number 10. So we have two movies left. Oh, two things left: Moon Knight and Black Panther 2. Yeah, I think it goes Moon Knight then Black Panther.
Oh no, I agreed. Like in my mind, I already wrote down 10 Moon Knight, 9 Black Panther 2. Yep.
Yeah.
Positive about Moon Knight, dude. I like Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to see him again. Even though the show wasn't strong, I feel like he has great potential as this potential character. I just need him to pick a lane and stick with it.
Man, this gotta be hard for character with DID. You're asking a whole lot, Kevin. All right, you need to tailor your expectations.
The waiter comes to the table, sir. You came to the wrong restaurant. We got burgers and fries, man.
Right. But no, I agree with you, man. Oscar Isaac, the show lives and dies on his performance.
It really does.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The character Arthur Harrow is played by I'm kind of tipsy, so I'm forgetting the name right now. What's the name of that actor, Kevin? Fucking Ethan Hawke. Yeah, Ethan Hawke who plays Arthur Harrow.
Yeah. Man,
and listen, I remember the fucking character's name before I remember the actor's name. But yeah, Ethan Hawke also does a really good job as well.
Right.
And yeah, so the show peaks with episode 1. Episode 1 is so good and so intriguing.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it slowly goes downhill, and then before you know it, you realize that the show never recovered and you're at a generic boss fight ending. And I like episode 1 was so good that I gave the show a pass for all of the changes that it made. How Khonshu is definitely a real guy, and we don't go through the journey of figuring out if he's real or fake. Right. They just bypass that. They give Moon Knight vague superpowers that he never really had. And his vague superpowers are just that. They're vague. They're so vague.
Depending on the episode, that's what he has.
Yeah.
What does he need? He's got it.
He's got it, yeah. And you know, with the villain, at first I thought that this was going to be like the best villain that we've maybe even gotten Phase 4 when the show came out. But then you realize that Arthur Harrow, he's kind of a one-note villain who was just played really fucking well by Ethan Hawke. But they had nothing for that villain to do. He's very one note. Yeah. And when you get to the finale, it's just the same shit that you've seen over and over again. It is, CG fight, punch him up. That isn't even, I mean, it's done well. It's okay, but you just expected so much more from this show. Yeah. And I get that they didn't want to play like the quote unquote crazy card with Mark Spector. I get that they wanted to be sensitive to the DID community. I do understand that. But there's going to come a time where Marvel's really going to have to decide, do they want to tell good stories first, or do they want to send good messages first? I'm not saying you can't do both, but which one are you prioritizing? You know, like I would listen. I grew up watching movies watching movies and TV shows that were like, yeah, kick people in the dick, but also don't do drugs. And I was like, got it, RoboCop. You know,
I am the law. Don't do weed. All right, you got it, Sylvester Stallone.
You got it, Judge Dredd. Yeah.
Actually, Q, I think we have a lot of money to be made here. I'm really serious. We need to remake a Frank Miller movie. Okay, I'm talking like one of his novels. Bring it to the big screen. Have like fucking one of the characters. Bang! I just killed this broad, but don't have sex before marriage. It's like, Jesus Christ, okay.
Be sure to practice safe sex, kids. All right, okay.
Takes out a chainsaw. All right, time to go take care of these thugs.
Now,
I kind of love it.
Yeah. But yeah, with Moon Knight, it just came off as a missed opportunity for me. Yeah. Black Panther 2. We'll keep this one really short too because we literally just did a review on this.
We just talked about it. Yeah. Disappointing.
Yeah, overall very disappointing. There's a few really standout nuggets in that movie. Angela Bassett is definitely the standout star in this.
You made a comment in the review episode, which, by the way, is up for grabs right now on any streaming service that you have available to you. Her shoulders are tired from carrying this movie.
Yes. That's why she couldn't swim to the top when she drowned.
Exactly.
Her shoulders were too tired. Yeah.
She took too many reps in from fucking lifting the whole movie.
Right. Apparently, she did not want her character to die. She had I won't say an argument, but she had a discussion with Ryan Coogler about how she didn't think it was, the right choice to make to kill off Ramonda, and she's right.
Yeah.
Listen, Ryan Coogler, when someone like your mother or your grandmother says something like that to you, especially if it's Angela Bassett, you listen.
You fucking listen.
Ryan Coogler is our age, right?
Yeah.
He's just like us, but like 10 times, a million times more successful. But yeah, other than that, he's just like us.
Yeah.
So you gotta listen to your elders, especially if it's Angela Bassett.
Bro. Yeah. What the fuck?
But yes, to get that full breakdown of why Black Panther 2 is at the number 9 slot, just check out our review. All right, you ready to do numbers 8 through 5?
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay.
Yep. Okay, I'm ready.
Let's see.
Yeah, I was about to say this is where it got a little easier for me. But yeah, homies, I'm gonna go ahead and filibuster while my boy here is writing down his stuff. Guys, we talk about this a lot, but I would actually really like to know what you guys thought of Phase 4. We hear from a lot of the beloved homies out there. A couple of familiar names continuing to message us and show us that love, and you already know we get it. We continue to want that love. We continue to read those messages. We cherish them. We value your reviews. We'd love to hear actually a little bit more of what you guys actually thought. Especially any new homies listening out there who just discovered the show. Welcome aboard. I hope you've enjoyed every minute of it thus far.
You can even bitch at us. People do that from time to time too.
We do actually get that a fair bit as well. I know in one review not too long ago, they talked about what they talked about.
I know Batman.
Yeah.
They didn't like the fact that we swear so much either, Kevin. That was the first thing they said.
Yeah. Stop swearing so much. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. All right. I will go first this time.
Go for it. I was about to say I took the last two, so do it. Run it.
All right. So these again are in no certain order for me, but the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange 2,
okay,
and What If.
Cool. Wow. Okay. A little different. We got 3 out of 4 again. I said Falcon Winter Soldier, right. What If, Hawkeye, Doctor Strange. Yes. Shang-Chi, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go and take care of the easy ones. Falcon Winter Soldier, number 8.
Yeah.
Because we were already discussing that potentially in the last set. It makes sense to put this at the bottom of the next set.
Right.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Falcon Winter Soldier. This one was like, it was very half-baked.
Yeah. It's like they couldn't choose a focal point to stick with, and the show suffers under that weight. It shuffles under both, and it still suffers under both. You know, of course, I'm talking about like a little bit of the weight of being like a social commentary regarding the history that they go into, and everything with Falcon and the weight he's carrying. But then we also go into all this other stuff with what the fuck was the enemy army that was?
Oh, the Flag Smashers.
Yes, it was I was about to say Flag Stompers.
Close.
It's like the Dollar General Flag Smashers.
Right.
But yeah, dude, with the Flag Smashers 2 and everything going on there, it's kind of like the attention's pulled in a couple of ways, and it never really chooses a lane.
Yeah, you're right, and they never really commit to it.
Yeah.
Similar to the Civil War movie, they introduce a very complex and intriguing scenario, but they don't have the balls to follow through with it. So, of course, with Civil War, I'm referring to how they introduced the Sokovia Accords, which is the MCU version of the Superhero Registration Act. What is ideologically the right thing to do? To force superheroes to sign up and to register and to reveal their identities and work for the government, or to leave them with their freedoms, but maybe people are in more danger. Well, in terms of this show, in terms of the Civil War movie, they never addressed that. No. They just reduce it down to Tony Stark wanting revenge. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
The Falcon Winter Soldier, they introduced this terrific idea. They changed Carl Morgenthau into Carly Morgenthau, and instead of having him be the Flag Smasher, she's the leader of a terrorist group called the Flag Smashers. So they kind of play with things a little bit there, and it's interesting, and it works out in concept. The issue here with the Flag Smashers is that, again, it's a very cool concept that they don't have the balls to stick the landing on.
Right.
Because their whole idea is that when the snapping happened and half the people disappeared, resources were reallocated, maybe housing were reallocated, jobs and all that, they were all had to be reallocated to the people remaining. But when those people came back, a lot of people, they had to relinquish a lot of their goods and whatnot. And they had to, and so it was a really fucked up situation. And I'm glad that the show had the balls to address that type of economical problem that would happen if half the population disappeared and then they came back 5 years later.
Yeah.
That's a real fucking issue that would happen with that.
It's like the half that stayed on Earth got to witness the quote-unquote good part of Thanos' plan, whereas resources, things that we were going to run out of, last a lot longer under 50% of the population, but then it's like, oh, well, wait, here they come back. They're coming around the corner from 5 years.
Yeah.
Huh, what do you know?
Right. Yeah. And now these people are upset. Where the show falls apart for me in terms of story, there's a couple parts where it falls apart at. But one of those, again, being with the Flag Smashers, they never call them what they are, which are terrorists. They never at one point called them terrorists. They are, in fact, terrorists, Kevin. There's no other way around it.
Yeah.
They don't come up with a solution either. Instead, we get the cringe-worthy, Senator, you've got to do better speech by Sam Wilson there at the end. Because telling evil, rich, right, white men to do better has always worked out in the past. That gets to him every time, let me tell you.
I feel like we've rounded the corner back to Dora the Explorer. It's like, you know the character Swiper, the fox.
Oh, yeah, Swiper,
right?
no swipe.
Yeah, it's like he's the old white man. And like Dora the Explorer's like, Swiper, you gotta do better. And he's like old white man's like, oh, man.
Oh, shucks. You got me.
You got me. Have you ever seen that little shit, dude?
Swiper?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Bro, he's the most powerful shit on that show.
All right.
Yeah. Motherfucker pulled the canoe out of his pocket. Like, how'd you put the canoe in the pocket? And he's just like, he just yanks shit and he swipes it and it's gone. Like, it don't exist no more. And he owns that shit. Yeah.
He might be a
he's like
being, yeah.
Exactly. He's like, motherfucker, like Dora, you're playing games with God. You're luckily he's being fickle with you, you know? Yeah. Anyways.
I also wasn't a big fan of how Sam handled the Isaiah Bradley situation.
No. He literally said, okay, interesting.
I'm going to think about that.
Anyways.
Yeah. And by the way, Isaiah Bradley was almost an analog for how I feel, because Isaiah was basically saying, look, those people, like, he was the first black super soldier. And, it was a reflection of the Tuskegee experiment, a real thing that, the government did to black people.
Yeah.
Where they inflicted them with syphilis and told them that they were getting medical aid. It's just a whole thing that they did. But anyways, like Isaiah Bradley's story, way back in the day after Steve Rogers, he was the first black super soldier. And he got fucked over. Wouldn't you know it? And his whole thing is telling Sam, like, listen, you don't need to wear those people's uniform. You don't need to be their, you don't need to be their mascot. You don't need to.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, man, I'm going to go do it anyway. And I'm like, we never got any kind of solid resolution to that.
Yeah.
We never got any. I mean, I'm not even asking that Sam doesn't do it because we know that he's going to, but tell me why you decided to do it, Sam.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't get that.
Yeah.
Those are,
Isaiah didn't say anything bad or wrong.
Yeah.
He said some pretty smart stuff.
Yeah, he
and
did.
Sam literally, we have a scene where he's like listening intently, leaves his house, and then the finale scene, like, I am Captain America. I am. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, interesting. Yeah. That whole last scene never happened.
Yeah. The whole scene, powerful moment with Isaiah Bradley, I guess, never happened.
Yeah. Some goods about the show. The Patriot, he did a great job. People genuinely disliked him.
Oh, yeah. U.S. agent. He was...
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
See, thank you. Yes, U.S. agent.
Yeah.
What'd I say? The Patriot?
Patriot, yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was
a good movie, Deco.
But Wyatt Russell, man, he did really fucking good in that role. Yeah. I really liked him in that role.
Agreed, dude.
Yeah.
Way good. Yeah.
And also, again, like you said earlier, I like the dynamic between Sam and Bucky. That's always fun to watch on screen.
Hell yeah, dude.
So,
yeah.
All right, number 7.
Yep.
So let's see what else we got here.
We agreed on What If and Doctor Strange Mom.
Gotcha. Doctor Strange.
I tried to say it with a straight face. I'm sorry, homies. Yes. So
here's the thing. I'm gonna be frank with you. I enjoyed Doctor Strange 2 about as much as I enjoyed Shang-Chi.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There were things I thought both those movies did really well, and things where I thought that they just completely dropped the ball.
So does that mean? And this is. No. Let's think of it like this. Mm-hmm. Did you enjoy What If better than both of those movies?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
What did you have in place of Shang-Chi? Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would agree with Doctor Strange being 7. Because that seems to be one we agree on. Like, Doctor Strange, I didn't really get along with.
Okay.
Yeah. It's... I don't know. I was let down. This could have been a big event. This could have been up there with the number 1 movie, and it fizzled. It tried too hard, and this is a working theory I have. Mm-hmm. People may or may not agree with me. It tried too hard to Easter egg reference all the Disney Plus properties.
It didn't reference anything from Disney Plus.
It referenced a couple of things, and it's like, okay, let's move on. You know, WandaVision, you couldn't help but reference. We get that because we actually
yeah.
have Wanda
That was
in the fucking show.
That was
That's
the
a
one
big deal.
tie-in. Yeah, Disney Plus, yeah.
That's an actual tie-in, not even an Easter egg.
Right.
But then it's like we get like the Doctor Strange like zombie thing.
Again, I don't think that's a reference to. I'm assuming you're referring to What If.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a reference.
They had the zombie episode. Yeah.
Yeah, but just because they raised zombie strains, I mean that's a reference to the zombie episode.
You're not wrong, but the coincidence is still there, and it bugs me. And it's like, I don't know, man. It wasn't strong. Yeah. Regardless, that's my working theory, and like I said, people may or may not agree with it.
Got you.
There was a lot about the movie that unfortunately just didn't really sit right. Like Doctor Strange was made a bitch in his own movie.
I wouldn't say he was made a bitch, but he definitely wasn't used to his full potential, which I didn't like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They only showcased like, and I get like he's not gonna beat Wanda, and I knew that going in. He wasn't supposed to.
No.
But I do wish that they had done more with him to show that he can pull out a lot of stops to try, and they never really do that with him in that movie. So that was also disappointing.
They also blue-balled us with the Illuminati, where we got to see Reed Richards. You know, we got to see a whole different Captain Marvel. We got to see Patrick Stewart come back on the big screen, and all these people lasted 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That was a letdown. That was an insult. We got to see Black Bolt come back.
Yeah, I got to be honest. For me, that wasn't a letdown because I didn't expect to see them that long.
Well,
I thought we were going to see them less time than what we got them there.
Dude, I mean, like the way that it was handled, you gotta agree with me. That was dumb. Where literally all the members of the Illuminati come up against Black Widow. Reed Richards, be careful. Black Bolt says one word and he'll blow your brains out.
Oh yeah, that was dumb. But I was hyped that we got a fight because I did not see that coming.
I still didn't like it because it's like these are grade A, fucking top tier superheroes, all of which have big brains or big strategy on their side. And they chose the most piss poor one to confront a powerhouse. Yeah. And it's like,
now, I will say this.
Misrepresentation of these heroes, in other words.
Yes. Yeah. But they also had no idea that Wanda was like that. Their idea of Wanda was their universe's idea of Wanda, which was a housewife. But,
they still were made to look like bitches. All. And it's like, you downplayed these heroes to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Doctor Strange. It's nearing the top of the list where it's like everything here was still just bad. Like everything up to this point has just not been that good to me. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I would say like. There's been like some middling stuff for me here, from like the second list on down.
I don't know, man. Like nothing here is something I would ever watch again.
But I wouldn't say like I don't think that like 11 on down are bad though. Like I think they're very very mid, but I don't think they're fucking trash.
Wait, 11 down?
Yeah.
11 through 16.
No, 11 through 7.
Oh, when you said 11 down, I was like 11 down to 16, going down the numbers. Okay. So 11 through 7 is what you mean. Okay. I mean, sure, they're not bad, but I'm not going to waste my time watching them again. I'd rather watch something else again. Something that was good.
I just want to be very clear for the homies. I don't think that these are bad products
here. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
All right. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else on Doctor Strange?
I said my sense. What about you, bro? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I liked it less upon my second viewing, but I still liked it more than you.
I was just disappointed, dude. Yeah.
I mean, because like you feel about Doctor Strange, I think how I feel about Shang-Chi. Yeah. Shang-Chi and the 10 fucking bracelets. Shang-Chi and the dragon fight background. Shang-Chi and the Crouching Tiger hitting Shang-Chi.
I think one big difference is that with Shang-Chi, I didn't expect anything. And with this, there are so many expectations, and you know, there's footing to that, and there's also disadvantages to that too. And then now we're just arguing fucking opinions at this point.
Right.
But it's like I walk in with those expectations, and as soon as they're not met, then sure, anything could become shit at that point. Yeah, I get that. But they lined it up with like this amazing potential. I don't know. I'm getting into what we talked about on the podcast. Forgive me. Of course, guys, this movie is also, believe it or not, big surprise, available for us to listen to in a full breakdown if you want. I'm not going to rehash that again here for time's sake. But
right. I think that Doctor Strange 2 has the second best villain of anything that we've discussed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I had to think back. I was like,
who the fuck is better than Wanda? You know.
I was trying to remember the villain. Yeah, but Wanda.
Yeah. I mean, she fucking killed it, literally and metaphorically. She was fantastic, and she was one of the strongest driving forces throughout this movie. And I love that they let her be a villain, and that they let her have that kind of House of M unhinged Wanda power. So that was a lot of fun to see. And like they didn't, it wasn't one of those things where like she stops herself. No, I mean, she has to be defeated. And I fucking love that. And I love that they left it, her fate's semi-ambiguous, a la House of M, or like, well, what the fuck happened to her? Where is she? Like in terms of Doctor Strange, I wish he had done more, but for me, a lot of the shit that he did, I still really like, but we could have seen him do a tad bit more.
Yeah. Okay, so we put Doctor Strange this low. It would only be fair, since our feeling seems to be parallel to one another on this, that we put our boy Shang-Chi this low.
Oh, yes.
So I would compromise to put Shang-Chi as number 6. Yes. Indeed. Yeah. But yeah, let me hear some of this, man. Why the dissatisfaction with Shang-Chi? Yeah.
So we went over this also on our Shang-Chi review.
Course.
We had different
big surprise.
So there's a lot of things. Like, one, I don't like them making the Mandarin his dad. I think that is seriously fucking problematic. I don't like the extremely lazy rehashing of the 10 rings, 10 bracelets. And I don't like how they feel like Shang-Chi needs a fucking superpower. I'm like, when his whole gimmick is his superpower is his fucking badass martial arts. But instead of giving like the 10 magical sonic rings to kind of make up for that. The third act I thought was messy as fuck. I really enjoyed the first act. I enjoyed the second act up until we get like the Trevor Slattery bit with the fake Mandarin. But for me, really, once we get to like that third act, that was just overly fucking CG.
I agree with you there. Ben Kingsley was not good for the movie.
Yeah.
Which is damning to say, because it's Ben Kingsley.
Right. It's like, I get that you guys want to poke fun at how bad that was done, but didn't really need to. We could have swept that under the rug and just pretend like it never happened. That would have been fine with me. So like for me, it's just the fact that like that the movie was, I thought it was a fine movie, but that third act, it had Marvelitis, where it's just they do too much and it was too over the top. Fucking big fake Fin Fang Foom dragons in the background. Aquafina hitting the arrow shot from fucking hell. Like, how in the fuck did you do that with like 16 days of training? But no, there was.
I forgot her name's a water bottle.
There were a lot of interesting decisions made with that movie. I knew that they weren't going to do completely right by the 10 rings, but I didn't think they'd go that lazy either. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, shit. We gotta start getting to the good stuff, man. Like this, all this bad stuff's starting to give me a headache. Like I have a capacity for this. I'm discovering like we're nearing that tank.
Yeah.
Number 5. So we talked about Doctor Strange, Mom. We talked about Shang-Chi, Bad Dad. We got now who's the uncle now? What if?
I suppose that would be
the one in between that we both agreed upon. Yeah. What if? Yep.
Yeah. What if was? I think it's the first thing on this list that I think is like really fucking good.
Jordan Peele was awesome.
Say what?
Jordan Peele. That was the Watcher, right? Jordan Peele.
No. That was oh my gosh, forgetting his name. He played Commissioner Gordon in the Batman.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're right. What am I thinking of? No, the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, he was the Twilight Zone.
That's on me, homies. Shit. Maybe I need some more Hennessy. I don't know. But yeah, so
I don't have a Twilight Zone button, but
that was close.
Yep.
The volume was down. But yeah, so yes. What is that actor's name? I'll look it up later.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if?
Man, I think that if this show, I think it was maybe 9 episodes. If it was 9 episodes, I think that 7 of them were really fucking good.
What made the last 2 bring it down for you?
So the first episode was the Captain Carter episode, which was just a rehashing of Steve Rogers. I mean, I think that they kind of just reduced Peggy Carter to being Steve Rogers.
What are you talking about? I thought that show was amazing.
And then Sebastian Stan's voice acting was also in that episode. Yeah. But no, I thought that was by far the least creative episode they did.
That was one of my favorite parts. Listen to Sebastian Stan. Come on, we gotta go. The objective's over there. We gotta go.
Oh, but
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was like the least creative episode they did by far. Because again, if you saw Captain America 1, you basically know what's gonna happen in this episode. Yeah. I'm like, what if it's the time for you guys to get loose and be creative? And then the other episode I didn't like was the Party Thor episode where he fights Captain Marvel. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's supposed to be like the comedic episode. For some reason, man, a lot of Marvel's comedy just doesn't really hit with me. Maybe because I have a good sense of humor. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
And another reason why like it's not like in like the bottom 4 is because it is very obvious that it was supposed to be 10 episodes and they took an episode out.
Right. Yeah.
Myself and a lot of other viewers, when we got to like the finale episode, felt like, oh wait, oh shit, I think I missed one. And then you go back and look like, no, they're all there.
What episode was taken out?
Well, we don't. Yeah, we don't know. But it had to be an episode with Gamora in it because she's like in the very beginning, I think, of like the finale or something like that. And then you're like, why are we here? And why are we looking at? So there was another episode. It wasn't there.
I wonder if they're able to admit to that.
Probably I mean, not. Or probably maybe it's out there and they're just like, yeah, we didn't have time or whatever. I don't know. But the other episodes we got, I thought for the most part were really good. This was Chadwick Boseman's last time voicing T'Challa. We got to hear him, voice T'Challa for a few episodes of that. So that was really cool. And again, I just really love how it comes together at the end there. And it's like, these aren't just, entertaining anthology episodes, but these are all tying together to be like, to tell one overarching story with one of the scariest villains I've seen, in the MCU. So, what if, again, I got to say, I think that this is like the first really fucking good thing on the list. It's a shame because we're in the top 5 now, technically.
Yeah. Yeah. Big shame.
Yep. So with that being said, we have 4 things left.
I think this is the easy part now.
Let's see here. All right.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yep. I was about to say, I still concede for you to introduce the last 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I did the first 2. You do the last 2. Makes sense. So,
Coolio.
indeed.
The last 4, if you guys have not been keeping count, are WandaVision, Hawkeye, Werewolf by Night, and Spider-Man No Way Home.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Big surprise. No Way Home. All
Yes,
right.
yes.
We'll save the easiest for last. Yeah, obviously we would also keep going in order. So number 4, my ups are between Hawkeye and Wanda.
Yeah, I had WandaVision number 4.
Makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
Overall, this was one of the only MCU shows I actually sat and watched with you.
Yeah.
Like, everything else was kind of separate from one another.
Right.
Excuse me. That was the last of the Henny. And it of the MCU TV shows, this was definitely one of the strongest by far. Elizabeth Olsen and our boy
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany, thank you so much. Really, really carry this and take it home for me. You know,
Yeah.
really creative show, pretty awesome. As far as Marvel products go, it's definitely not. It's not. I don't know. It still felt off to me. Like there's still something kind of mediocre about it by the end of it all. And I know where part of that lies. Part of it's with oh, Jesus Christ! What's the witch's name?
Agatha Harkness.
Agatha Harkness. Thank you. It's like part of it lies with her and with what we got at the very end there. I don't know. It was interesting, but it was also kind of the Marvel science, you know, the hero versus themselves a little bit for me.
Yeah.
What about you, bro? What are your thoughts?
I absolutely loved this show up until the finale. I thought the finale was the weakest episode.
There you go.
Yeah. Because they did go back to that Marvel formula. And I think that for me, the show would have fared better had that been the only sin of the finale. But I'll never forget the line that Monica Rambeau drops to Wanda when she says to Wanda, the people that live in this town, they'll never know what you've done for them. I'm like, she had those people enslaved for who knows how long. What do you mean what she did for them? She ruined their lives.
She accidentally misspoke that line, and she said to them was
Right.
what was written.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, the fucking hubris on Marvel to have the audacity to be like, yeah, Wanda's the hero in all this. No. Let Wanda sit in her grief. Let her sit in what she's done because of her grief. Like let her live with that. And I'm so glad that Doctor Strange 2 kind of undid a lot of the damage that finale did. Because there's no reason for Wanda to walk away from this feeling like she's now this redeemed good person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there was no reason for that. And then also again, like with the finale, we got another big CG fight when Wanda and Agnes or Agatha were just slinging CG bolts at each other, and I'm like, we can do better than this. And we had like Vision versus Vision. I mean, it was Marvel just has this fucking formula, man. Where they love to do like this big CG finale, even when it's not necessary.
Right. And it was nice and cool at first, but then once you do it for every hero,
you gotta do it when it's necessary. That's my thing. Yeah,
exactly.
There's some heroes where it's absolutely necessary, where you need it.
It's not like this is the rite of passage story. This isn't what makes and breaks a hero. You know? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Vision earned it before he had to fight White Vision. You know.
Yeah. I think that maybe Wanda versus Vision would have been a better finale. You know, like him trying to talk his wife down. But you know. But no, with all that being said, though, I thoroughly enjoyed WandaVision. Other than that, just because it was so unique, and there was an eeriness underneath the like the facade of the sitcoms, and like as the show progressed throughout decades, through different sitcom eras, it was a lot of fun. Another thing I got to point out that I didn't like the fake out Quicksilver.
That was dumb.
That was very dumb. Yeah.
They should have just had the courage and the balls to sit with it.
Yeah, and that's also where Mephisto Gate began.
Yeah,
and it hasn't gone away since.
Not really.
All right,
Number three. I'm voting Hawkeye. Number 3.
I'm in agreement with you on that.
Yeah, which might be surprising to a lot of listeners that the main MCU product is ranked below another one shot that Disney Plus ran. But we'll get to the one shot in a second.
Yeah.
Well, Hawkeye. Honestly, I feel like Jeremy did a really awesome job with this. And also,
Haley Steinfeld.
Dude, that's exactly what I was about to go on. This is one of the only new age characters I ended up liking after the show.
Yeah.
Every other one is still dog shit for me. Yeah, the new age characters, Riri, fucking America Chavez, Ms. Marvel, all of them are still the same bad bucket of characters. Whereas this one redeemed herself a little bit, and Haley did a great job carrying that.
No, I agree with you. Kate Bishop, that's like the only like new age character who I want to see again.
Yeah, agreed. There was some character depth there. There was growth.
There was growth. Like she listened and learned from Scott. Scott. Jesus, who was Scott? From
Scott's her neighbor.
Yeah, Scott's her neighbor. Yeah, she listened and learned from her neighbor Scott too. Yeah. From Clint, I meant to say, and it's like she admired him in a different way from like Kamala Khan's admiration of Miss Marvel,
right?
Because you find out in episode 1 of Hawkeye that during the Chitauri invasion from Avengers 1, Hawkeye saves her, and that's what begins her infatuation, with Hawkeye and with learning how to use a bow.
Yeah.
And along the way, like he teaches her things, and you see her fucking literally fall on her face.
Yeah.
You see her. I mean, like it was so refreshing to see a new character actually be a character and have that kind of growth and development, and to not be insufferable, and to be well portrayed and well written. I mean, and that's just speaking about one character here. I mean, Clint also, man, he was phenomenal in this. Jeremy Renner, he did an amazing job. I love how it starts like Avengers on Ice or the Avengers, the musical.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, fuck this. And I was like, I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm. I also like how I was like, fuck this to the LARPing community. When he was just kind of going in like, nope, I'm not letting you fight me. Fuck that.
Yeah, no disrespect to the LARPing community out there.
No. I didn't mean any disrespect to them if that's what it came off as. No, fuck that. No, that's okay. I meant more like Jeremy coming up to the situation, Hawkeye coming to the situation's like, hey, give me my shit back. Only if you let me beat you in the fight. Fuck you.
Right. Yeah, like I love how he like effortlessly fought through like the LARPing community, and they were selling for him and all that, and then he gets to that point where he has to take a dive in order to get his shit back. But no, I thought that this was, man, a really good show, and it ends with him hinting that like his wife may be Mockingbird, and that in this universe she was a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. So I mean that was
his wife is hot.
That is also true.
Mm-hmm. That's a plus.
Yeah, and also out of all the Disney Plus shows, even more so than Falcon and Winter Soldier, this has the best fight scenes, hands down. Better than Moon Knight, better than Falcon. Better than Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Suits. Yeah,
the tracks. The Traculus. Yeah. And also just very creative use of their abilities as well, man. Like this, I mean, all in all, this was a great show.
Yeah.
Again, like the finale was not bad, but the finale was, again, like in my opinion, the weakest episode, which is the third act for the movies and the finale episode for the TV shows. I don't know what it is with Disney, but they have a hard time with that. You know? Yeah. They brought back obviously Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin in the finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was it was a sight to see him. But yeah, so number 2.
Werewolf by Night.
Woo.
Bro, this was surprisingly really, really good.
Yeah.
And now here's the thing. I'm going to argue this as devil's advocate here first before we get into a lot of the nit and grit of the positive. This had mathematical statistics in its corner. It had one episode to play with, one shot. It landed that shot, which means instant hit because it was make or break for one. It didn't have other episodes or finale, i.e., in order to fuck up. It literally said, here's our story. This is one and done told. Simplistic. I love it. Open shut case. Moving on. Had it been multiple episodes, it would have had multiple chances in order to mess up and get in its own way, to trip over itself, to like put in a dumb agenda, whatever the case. However, because it was a Halloween special and it was one episode, it was a really fucking good episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a phenomenal hour or so of television. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched it twice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And while Hawkeye may have had like the best fight scenes, the most creative fight scenes definitely goes to Werewolf by Night. When you see Jack Russell change and the way that they play with him being like a werewolf, but also the way that he fights, it was just chef's kiss.
Dude, he was fucking grappling motherfuckers.
Oh,
It's like, what the heck, man? Who taught you this?
Yeah. And like, you know what's fucked up? Like,
Huh.
in the She-Hulk show, Daredevil didn't get like a one-shot fight scene. There were many cuts in that hallway scene.
Yeah.
But like in the Werewolf by Night special, they do a really clever job of having it be a one-shot when he's in that hallway, in that doorway. Like it was a very clever shot how they played with that. I'm like, so Marvel can do it. We need you guys to maybe do that more often.
Dude, I'm so nervous for Born Again. The more I think about it, the more I'm just like so let down.
Yeah.
And it's not even out yet. I have no reason to be, but I'm just kind of like immediately like,
I'm trying to think of, even if it's great, like how many TV shows can keep my interest for 18 weeks straight?
That's a great point too. Yeah. That's too many fucking weeks.
That's a long time.
Bro, I mean, okay. You know what? Let's move on. I'm not going to talk about this on air. We're good.
I'll just say this. Yeah, the story for Werewolf by Night was very simple yet effective. I love Elsa Bloodstone in this as well. This is by far also the most goriest thing that the MCU has put out. But yes, it was cool to see Elsa Bloodstone in this. Cool to see Man-Thing. Cool to see Jack Russell. And cool to see like this black and white old school Universal monster movie feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys have not watched Werewolf by Night yet, do it. It is incredible.
I'd love to see a sequel.
Yeah. Do one next Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was really good. The characters were super fucking crazy. Unique.
Right.
So awesome.
Yeah.
So fun. The weird ass mother.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? She's like, no one wants to see that mom on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Yeah.
She ain't cooking nothing good.
Nah, she's cooking that dry ass turkey.
So I mean, number one, man, like listen.
Number one was no comp. Number one took the trophy and walked home.
Even IGN got number one right.
Yeah.
You can't fuck up number one.
Literally. Number one had 3 Spider-Men total helping it out. Of course, I'm talking about No Way Home.
No Way Home. I mean, this was the only great movie in Phase 4.
Sadly, it was. It was the only movie that they didn't fuck up. Yeah. They also paid out to have this movie be good. They got all 3 of the Spider-Men.
Yeah.
Tom Holland. Andrew Garfield.
Yep.
Tobey Maguire. They got the OG fucking villains. They got our boy Molina.
Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina. They got
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. They got Jamie Foxx up in this bitch.
Yeah.
They got Sandman up in this bitch. They paid out for good talent, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
But on top of that, they did not rest on the nostalgia and on the money. They told a story.
They did not Force Awakens this shit.
Right.
Yes.
They did not
Force
rely on
Awakens
nostalgia.
was a bad movie.
In case you guys didn't know, in case you've never heard us say that before.
I really need to make sure they hear my feelings. All your homies, I want you to hear my feelings. Especially the ones who are potentially still butthurt about that. It's like, no, come to the facts.
Guys, there's a reason why Disney hasn't made a Star Wars movie in so long.
Amen.
But man, listen, this movie, No Way Home, yeah, I mean, it was great top to bottom, and like especially when the other Spider-Men show up and you get the tragic death of Aunt May, and she drops the line about with great power there must also be great responsibility. I mean, like, you know, it's just, it was a phenomenal moment. It was a growing up moment for this version of Peter Parker to go through.
Yeah.
And I love how the movie ends with him finally feeling like true blue Spider-Man, because there was always something missing with Tom. Like, I love Tom.
Yeah.
But I was like, there is something missing with him.
Yeah. He's never had the tragedy. In this movie,
Yeah.
boom, he got it. He's growing.
Yeah. Right. He never had the struggle.
Yeah.
Like, he never had to do it by himself. And now he does. He's got no Iron Man tech backing him up. Mm-hmm. You know, he's got no Avenger contacts.
Yeah. It's ironic he's doing it by himself because he technically had two of himself to help him. But then by the end of the movie, homeboy literally has no one. His friends, his family, gone.
Right.
Yeah.
It's that tragic Peter Parker sacrifice.
He literally only has fan theories about Nick Fury up in fucking space that might remember his ass.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, so this was a great movie that, again, is not great because of the cameos, but it's great because they didn't rely on the nostalgia. They used those cameos to tell a story.
Hell yeah. And the cameos were great too.
And we can't overlook just how great Willem Dafoe was as the villain in this.
Holy fuck, he was so good.
The best villain of Phase 4.
Yes! Yes! So good. I mean, it's Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Was there a competition?
Yeah. It's not Willem Dafoe. This is Willem Dafoe. And he put all the foe in there. All right.
All right, now you got too much Hennessy. Give me your cup. You're done.
Oh, you're right.
Need water.
I need some more.
Fuck, you're out. You need water. I'm out too.
Oh, but yeah, man. I mean, was there any secret that No Way Home would be number one?
No, not even a competition.
I'm curious to meet someone who says that No Way Home isn't the best in Phase 4.
I would challenge. I'd be like, what was the best to you?
Yeah. Because, again, for me, everything else is so distant second.
Yeah, it's not even a competition. I mean, it took a one-shot episode, a single one-time Halloween special to be second place. Because nothing else came close to deserving second. I mean, sadly, there are things that were good, but this was great. This was an easy first.
Yeah.
Nothing's an easy second.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Nothing is an easy second.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Everything is like
everything.
Literally, this was the lightning bolt, the Usain lightning bolt, finishing first, having time to go to Starbucks to order a drink before second ran across the line.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's No Way Home, guys, and I mean, you know,
not a sponsor, by the way.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah. Nothing here has been a sponsor. Not Hennessy. Not MCU.
Not Usain Bolt. Not Starbucks.
Yeah. Nothing. But yeah, I'm looking forward at the end of the year when we do the Homies Award to look at the superhero movies to come next year, and to see exactly what the lineup is going to be like, and you know, hopefully we get some bangers, man. And which, by the way, that is a plug, guys. If you guys can only for some odd reason listen to one more episode, let it be the Homies Award.
Amen.
Yeah, and that would be like most likely the last episode of the year or close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it usually is. It's one of our biggest and most fun episodes to do every year. That's gonna be a blast. But that is our ranking of the of Phase 4, Kevin.
Yeah.
You have anything else to add to this? Closing thoughts, remarks, gifts, place, food, supplies.
Love us or hate us, that's our honest opinion, folks. You heard it here. We broke it down live for you. So there's no mixing it. There's no mishearing it. Homies, we'd love to hear your reception, your love or hatred for those opinions, and why. We'd love to hear why you would argue this is better than that, or that's better or worse than this, or whatever the case. Homies, we always appreciate the feedback. We love knowing what you're thinking, you know. You hear what we're thinking all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's only right.
Thoughts. Yeah. Yeah.
It's only right. Tell you what, guys, and if you're feeling up to it, just then come on up here and pull up a seat and sit down and tell us why we're wrong. And we promise we won't beat you up. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Say no more.
But that's going to be all for this one, guys. Thank you guys again for listening in. As always, this has been a blast. Looking forward to talking to you guys again. But until then, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And I am Superhero Homie Kevin.